Fashion is life, and just like life, you must always express your feelings freely. My name is Madeline Ade. Welcome to Slayers. Alright, welcome back. You're still watching Slayers, where everything stays absolute class. Today on Slayers, we are talking about how Ghanaian fashion can be distinguished. Has Ghanaian fashion got an identity? Well, joining us to do this discussion is the CEO of Accra Fashion Week, Nana Tamaklo. Nana, good to have you again.
Thanks for having us again.
Welcome to Slayers.
You're welcome.
What's happening?
Everything and nothing now. We're getting ready for Accra Fashion Week at the end of March, you know, part of the Wear Ghana month, and we've got a whole bunch of designers, some of our best designers in Ghana, from Barbados, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, USA, Italy. It's going to be a mega event, and that's what we're focused on. Okay, and next to Nana Tamaklo, I'm so excited to see him on Slayers because we've been talking much about him, and we think he's done so well from last year, and this year we are still looking up to him, what he's coming up with. He's the brand ambassador for Made in Ghana, high life musician, Ochiame Kwame. Yes. Hi, Ochiame. Hi, and you can see him. He's wearing, I don't know if everything is, I mean, from Ghana here, but definitely everything is from Ghana here. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, everything is from Ghana, apart from this one. And I can't wait for the day when I'll set up my own frame making company so that we can just go all out, 100%. So the watch is from Wood Hub.
This from Ghana here?
Yes, this is from Ghana. This watch is actually made at Kaswa.
Kaswa?
Yes, this is Jennison Wallman.
Okay.
Made in Ghana, as you can see.
Yes.
This is made in Kumasi.
Okay, made in Ghana.
Everything in my heart is made in Ghana.
Okay, what about the...
It's made in Ghana. That's my own design, but I can't show it to you. I'll have to get permission from my wife first.
Okay. All right, Chami, we are glad to have you on Slayers today. Yeah. There's a lot we're going to talk about.
Yes. Can't wait.
Yes. Next to him is also Mr. Wear Ghana. Ben.
Yeah.
Oh, you said I shouldn't call you Ben again. Mr. Wear Ghana.
Of course, that's my signature now.
Okay.
Yeah, because whatever I do, whatever I eat, I promote wearing Ghana, because for Ghana fashion industry to grow, we need to wear Ghanas. That's it. Okay. There is nothing that we can do to grow Ghana fashion industry unless we wear Ghana.
Right. Have you seen Ochiame Kwame's music video?
Oh yeah, as part of, he already knows. I mean, last year was part of it, and then it was all over. But this year we're taking a new twist, which I just don't want to jump the gun. But in the next few days, you see what we're up to with respect
I wanted
to the
you to touch on the video, because I saw the video and I was so much excited. I was marveled because, I mean, the sets, the people, everything is made in Ghana. Everything is from Ghana here. Have you seen the video?
No, I've seen the behind-the-scenes shoots with Dictor B.
Okay, yeah.
I'm yet to
What's
see
your take
the video.
on it?
It was beautiful. The kente, you know, the styling. I think you wore a suit. Yeah, it was good. We published it on our platforms as well.
Oh, okay. Fashion Ghana.
It was amazing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Ochiame, now tell us about the video.
So the song is called Bra. It was produced by Kindi, and the video is done by director Wua. Okay. And our direction from Kojo Hilton. It's an amazing team. And the whole song talks about polygamy. And you know that I've done 10 songs, each one representing each region. So where I've done a song with Wolome for Greater Accra. I've done this for Kumasi. I've done one with Feli Luna. Okay. For Volta. I've done one with Atongo Zimbabwe. You know, so I've done 10 songs for each region, and each of the songs tries to mimic the mood and the psyche and the traditions of the people. So this video we're about to see represents Ashanti region. So, and when you talk Ashanti region, we think of heritage tourism, regal, royal. Right. We talk of Okonfanoche. But the most important element or the most important item for the Asante man is the stool. Okay. That's why if you have an Asante dad, he will never let you sit on his chair, because it is believed that the man's soul has a perfect connection with the seat that he sits on all the time. So whenever a stool is tilted or is turned, It represents chaos or absence.
Okay.
So the video starts with myself and Benedicta as my wife in the video fighting. She leaves and tilts the stool and walks away. And so we are talking about fighting in a relationship, how the Akan man has the right to go out there and find another one, but no matter who he finds, that person is never as sweet as the wife, even though the wife is troublesome.
Wow,
you know, so it's like a caution to the man, caution to the woman, sort of warning type B. And then whilst he is out there, there are small girls trying to get his attention, but his mind is still on the wife. So the wife should stop and come back.
Okay, bruh. Okay. Yes. All right. So now, are we going to see you in only African wear throughout your career, or should I say life?
Well, you know, the Bible says it's only a fool that doesn't change his mind. So if I say yes, I might be fooling.
Okay.
Yeah. So
anything can happen.
But for the next 3 years, I am dedicated to pitching this Made in Ghana activation, from art to business to culture.
All right.
You know, in the next 3 years, the conversation should leave the realms of arts. Next year, we are looking at business. We are going to go into policy, everything, to make sure that we can eat our own rice and wear our own clothes and all that. And then the year after, we are going to touch on culture and try to make cultural studies, instead of English, compulsory before you go to the university.
But it is compulsory in here.
No, if you once you pass your maths, science, and English, you can go to the university. So people don't even go to
then there's a lot you're going to do.
Yes, because I've been a musician for 22 years, and I realized that the most important conversation to be had is made in Ghana. And I have 3 million people following me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Every day that I have the opportunity to talk to these people, and why should I waste it on shine your waist? Why don't I use it to scratch the people where it's itching the most?
All right, so we are talking about how Ghanaian fashion can be distinguished. Do you think Ghanaian fashion has got an identity?
Yes, Ghanaian fashion is unique. I know, you know, about 2 years ago, I went to Medem in France. And whenever I walked through the town, they said, Monsieur Elegance, Monsieur Elegance. You know, I would never forget. Wherever I went to, people said, and then some people could actually come to and say, you are from Ghana. Because when they see these elements, when they see kente and they see these things, they know this is unique to West Africa and Ghana. And apart from that, there's a certain level of brightness to Ghanaian culture, which permeates through the fashion that you can't miss, you know. And the most beautiful thing is that now more young, affluent Ghanaians are proud to wear Ghana. I remember when I was like 12, tie and dye was the thing, and everybody was wearing tie and dye. And then the fashion industry, instead of promoting it, started calling it Weshia Unia. And then in the period of 1 year, people felt it was repugnant, and people didn't want to identify with it. You know, so but now look at the number of years. I can confidently say that since ex-president Kufuor said, let's wear Ghana on Fridays. Now it's even transcending Saturday, Sunday, even Mondays, you know. So I think that Ghanaian fashion is unique. Even if I go to Nigeria, people see me, you know, Nigerians and Ghanaians, we look alike. But people can actually see you and say you are from Ghana. Right.
Okay. Nana, do you want to add up to what Chambe Kwame just said?
I think, not to contradict, but I think it almost has an identity. I think the creatives, you know, definitely have an identity. People, if he goes to Nigeria and he's wearing it, people see it. But I think the key word is fashion. And when you say fashion, it means something that people are following. And I think we in the industry are always going to support. But the moment we step out of here and we look at what Ghanaians are wearing, the creatives haven't really connected with the people. The one thing they've connected with is the print. And I think it's because our creatives are, in this day and age, are coming up in a very controversial time or a difficult time to expand, because we're in a situation where now the day-to-day Ghanaian right now, most of them are not necessarily wearing what our creatives are making. So it goes to show that even though our creatives are very talented, and some of them are even selling a lot online, they still haven't broken that connection to the point where we can, you go out in the West, and you even here and you say Louis Vuitton or you say Moschino, people know who you're talking about. You go to the day-to-day person and you mention any one of the designers he's wearing or the designer I'm wearing, and people are like, who? You know, unless they're in the industry. So I think, you know, there's just that little point to break where we can say, okay, this is fashion in Ghana. When you see someone wearing this, this is that. And like I said, the influence is all coming from the West. So it's hard for our designers to break through it. And the most key point is, even when African print started trending in Ghana, it had started trending in the West before Ghanaians started saying, oh, this is cool. Sometimes we want to look abroad before we embrace it, and we need to just jump that gun and say, this is ours, like Okyeame Kwame does, and then ride it. Okay, Ben, Mr. Wear Ghana.
Yeah, for me, I've been in the industry for a very long time. Way back 2007, when we were organizing the Fashion Week, Exopa Fashion Week with Exopa, Molly Agency. It was shown live on TV3. But then, fast forward from that time to this time, I've realized a lot of things. We all want the industry to grow, but it's not growing. But the industry players, are we sat down to realize or find out why is the fashion industry not being given the needed attention? And it is basic. It's because we are not wearing what we have. And it's because we are not producing stuff from our own fabrics. That is very basic. Now, trends happens when the influence comes from people like Okyeame Kwame, maybe influential people in our society. Most of the time, they look up to those things, and then people beneath, most of them look up to them, and they tend to adapt whatever they wear. Then, you see, most of the time, we have the trendsetters. People like Okyeame Kwame who always give signatures to wear in Ghana. But most of the costume he wears wouldn't be everyday wear. You understand? Exactly. It wouldn't be every day. People won't feel comfortable wearing every day. But from the signatory aspect of it, it has its own way of influencing people to appreciate what we have as Ghanaians. So that one is very important. Now, couching it from our identity point, you know, the kimonos from the kimonos are Japanese. Then we have the kilts from Scottish. Then you see the saris from the Indians. Immediately you see them, it gives you an identity. Oh, this is coming from here. This is fast forward to Africa. We have something like the mat cloth, which originated from Mali. And they have that geometric pattern in it with some identity of African, which the men there, when they wear it, they feel strong. They feel that there's some tradition thing which makes them feel, you know, that edge of being more than other people. So it's really an identity. But let me fast forward to Ghana. Do we have an identity?
Do we have an identity?
Trust me. Even an African print, did it originate from Ghana? The identity we have is our fubu,
and the
our kente, and then Edinkra fabrics. The Edinkra fabrics, not just any fabrics, because it is true. You see, the dress you're wearing, when somebody captures it, because of the Edinkra symbol in it, you'll be able to identify what it means and where it's originated from. So we have other products whereby those products have African inspiration in them, fabrics that have African inspiration in them, but they weren't made in Ghana. That is why we adopt those products and say, okay, they are all African fabrics. Let us patronize them. So for me, I believe that we have an identity, but the identity, we need to project it as Ghanaians. And for me, I believe that, let me say, I want to give a bit of history, but sometimes I don't know the time, whether the time will permit me. But I think,
you go ahead.
Okay. Now, during the colonization, we all believe that our cloth culture, which is the kente, they were reserved to be used at the special occasions and all that. But fast forward to post-colonization or during colonization, that was where they imposed those were making it look elitist, whilst I look primitive. So then we started adapting to what we're wearing. Right. Now, during Kwame Nkrumah's time, that figureheads like Kwame Nkrumah, they really helped a lot because during Kwame Nkrumah's time, they adopted what we call import substitutional industrialization. That was where you have the establishment of many of our government industries like GTP, like Kosombo, Textile, and the likes. So we believe that we've come from afar and we've gotten to where we've gotten to. But I keep on telling people that, hey, if you're a fashion designer, you have to be your own ambassador. Don't wait for somebody to be your ambassador because whatever you sew, you wear it and you market it within your catchment area. Right. All right? There is more to say.
Right. Ochame Kwame, you wanted to add up. You said we have an identity.
I think we have an identity. It is straightforward. If you go to Volta region, when you see a Voltarian dressed like a Voltarian, it is easy. When you see an Akan with his kente cloth on his shoulders, it is easy. When you go to the northern region, you see the fugu. Even when you go to Wa, the fugu is slightly different in texture. It is basic. We have identity. I think that the problem is, are we projecting the identity enough? Well. And the little technicality is the fact that we have so much, Africans have so much self-pride that whenever you have spent money to buy your Edwinasa or you buy your kente, you want to save it till the day when it's really deserving to wear. So I think that is what we need to sort of uncover and make sure that we don't keep the kente as sacred.
I think because the kente is very expensive now, so you can't wear it anyhow, unlike the African prints, which even they are not made here. And now people are thinking the fact that I wear African print, like what I'm wearing, means I'm a proud Ghanaian. But I'm not thinking is the right thing.
You are a proud Ghanaian.
Really?
Because because what you are wearing has signals of your ancestors. And this thing that you are wearing is called the knee brain soldier.
A knee brain soldier.
And you know what that means? No, it means that no matter how
I read.
Yes, no matter how much how much trouble you have, your eyes will never light fire. So it means calm down. It means relax. It means take your time. So this is inspiring. So if we had been taking our cultural studies seriously and the children and people understood these signals, immediately you wear this on TV, someone watching you will look and say, any brain soldier, any me problem see tungu. So even though it might have been printed in China, 50% of the problem is solved because it is first with identity. Now, I know so many people like KNUST and Kumasi who are printing amazing wax.
Wow.
And so many people. And so many companies here who are also printing to compete. And since we are having these conversations, I think very soon we are going to distinguish between is it made by a Ghanaian? To add to is it made in Ghana? Then we can have the conversation.
The demand or the fabric deficit in Ghana is over 100 million yards. We're only producing 30 million out of 130 million. So she tell you that is why they can't stop the importation of other goods like the Holland and stuff like that, because they can't meet with the demand. But what we can do as Ghanaians and as policymakers is to establish or expand the existing one so that they can give them tax rebates. Quite recently, I heard that Minister of Trade is introducing the tax stamp, which will differentiate what is truly made in Ghana and the others. And then there is this introduction of the tax rebate for like 10 years or 5 years. But on interviewing the people in the industry, the fabric manufacturing companies, they were of the view that, hey, despite the fact that government have removed those taxes on it, we can still reduce because our overhead cost is so much to be. So the wearing of Ghana, one of the challenge is the cost of the fabric. Okay. It's not about people not interested in wearing it.
Okay.
One of the challenge is the cost. Yes.
Okay. But what is the traditional dress of Ghana, Nana?
The traditional, I mean, we have various traditions. You have what people wear, like he said, in the Volta region. When you go to the north, there's a different set. So there's not one, because even Ghana itself has been made Ghana because a white man came and called it Gold Coast. But we are different groups of people with different languages and different traditions. So we cannot put a traditional dress. But I think one of the most common recognition to Ghanaian fashion is kente. I think it's the most popular, if I'm right. Unfortunately, that too is being destroyed by kente prints from China, because now people love kente so much, and hey, Chinese people can give it to you in a very
cheap, that's
easier
like
way to be able to wash it and all of that sort of stuff.
It looks like the Bonre kente, it's very expensive. So until you are getting married, that is when you can use it. But the one that's, I mean, the Chinese people are doing, it's not expensive, like 5 cedi or 10 cedi, say, and it's very, very colorful.
Yes. You know, there's something that we need to look at here. So I think that there's something that we are not paying attention to. I mean, ideal situation, Ghanaians wear Ghanaian things printed by Ghanaians, sewn by Ghanaians. That's the ideal situation. But don't forget that our governments have gone to India, China, Japan to say, give us money to build our roads. In return, we give you the opportunity for you to come and sell your stuff here. So immediately we go into that argument of having policy to use as a deterrent for India and China and Japan to stop bringing their things into Ghana. Then we are going into the realms of trade war. Are we ready? Do we have the power to withstand it? So I think that the best way to fight it will be to start from the concept of role modelism. Let us decide to wear it. Now, once we wear it, then we can get to the point of finding out, what am I wearing? Is it coming from, you know, and then instead of the government going into trade war with China, which we will not win, we can let the culture for civic education do a 1-year campaign using people like you and I constantly on TV singing Shegana
like you did recently.
And I remember that they did this campaign and after that, every time I'm going to, I leave the washroom, I wash my hands, because that song is singing in my head. So I think that instead of going into a trade war with policy, we can start by educating our people from the schools to pay attention. Even if it's expensive, because not too long, 10 years ago, made in China was the tagline for things that are of low quality.
Yes.
Is it like that now? So yes, any boarding. That's the tagline. Who even knows? Maybe it's the Chinese marketing companies who are spending that thing here in Ghana. You know, who are spending it. And I know so many young people who are trying their best. If we wear it, if we start to wear the made in Ghana things and the people sewing get to buy more, then they can produce at a lower average cost. And once they produce at a lower average cost, they are going to enjoy economies of scale and make profit. You know, and then beyond that, we can now be able to distinguish between which one is coming from China. But I don't think we can do all that in one day.
One day, yes.
Yes.
Okay, you want to? Okay, go ahead.
I want to, counter what Mr. Chabekwame said with respect to the policy.
Right.
You know the Friday wear during 2000 introduction. It was a policy from Ministry of Trade, which was led by Honorable Mr. Alan Tremanti, who is now the Minister of Trade. It was a policy that was well structured, and the influence got to everybody. Yeah, the patronage of Made in Ghana thing, which I always cue mine to wear in Ghana with respect to fashion. I said there should be policy statement being made from Ministry of Trade. I think that it was the same policy which was made, and it got a lot of Ghanaians, or influenced a lot of Ghanaians for the Friday wear. It was a policy from Ministry, and it was fantastic. Now, how can we develop a policy whereby within us, some of the government settings, purchasing of these goods and services, we can restrict it to, let me say, buying made in Ghana. You understand?
Right.
Those are some of the policies. We are not talking about trade war. There is no way. There are giant Americans are there, the Chinese are there. Yeah. They will just absorb you. But you see, Rwanda, I always use Rwanda as an example. He has banned second-hand clothing. You understand, importation of second-hand clothing. Why? Because you know, under AGOA, Opportunity Growth, African Growth Opportunity Act, Ghana is part of it. Ghana is enjoying the benefit of it, which apparel is also part of it. It's exportation of apparel to America. Okay. That's what we are enjoying. But Rwanda was also part of it. Mauritius, Kenya, all of them stood against the importation of second-hand clothes into their country. But all of them were shut down because America instructed them, I'll take it off. But Rwanda said to itself, it is killing my people, it is killing my industry, I have to stick to it. Statistically, I really understood why Rwanda took that decision. Because when you look at Kenya, Kenya is taking advantage of this thing and exporting over $600 million worth of apparel to US. And if the country looks at the importation and it's below that number, I'm gaining. So why should I adapt to this and then still, you know, get myself in it? So I think it's important that those policies need to be made clear. The campaign for Made in Ghana should be taken seriously. Yes, okay. Government has to get involved in this. I'm always passionate when I'm saying this because it shouldn't be lip service. We have to be who we are. And the only thing that we can do to make sure we are who we are is to believe in what we have and patronize in it. And this is all behavior. We call it behavior thing, like behavioral thing. Behavioral thing. It is sensitization, a lot of sensitization, letting people understand what they will get out of their wearing it. Letting people understand that, hey, if I wear Ghana, I'm not only, you know, looking good in it, but I'm also helping the textile manufacturing company to grow. Get money. When the textile manufacturing companies grow, then, which in turn, they will get more money. And then projects that we are doing, they can be able to fund it. Now, on the chain, the designers, if we also patronize them, now the designers will become people like Nike, Michaels, and all that. They will become institutions on its own. Okay. So if designers become institutions on their own, that they now can tell themselves that they have a fashion house where they have the lawyers, they have the illustrators, they have the designers, they have everybody embodied in it. Now you know what international people coming. Exactly. Now they can run their own shows. And if they run their own fashion shows, you and I know that how many, look, somebody like Abrantier and the likes, if they are running their own fashion shows in a month, you and I know what it will do to the models. Right. Because the models also will get paid and then they have a lot of shows to attend. Okay. You understand? So it's a ripple effect. We shouldn't take this thing as on the face value. Government has to be serious on this. Okay. Government needs to invest in this. And this unemployment rate thing that government always talk about will drastically reduce if they focus on Made in Ghana with respect to even fashion alone. Okay.
Mr. Ware Ghana is always passionate about these things whenever he's talking about Ghana. All right, so our time is fast spent, but we'll still continue with this same conversation next week. Nana Tamaklo, who is the CEO of Accra Fashion Week, is still here with us. High Life musician and the brand ambassador for Made in Ghana. Ochame Kwame is also still here with us. And Mr. Ware Ghana, who is very passionate whenever he's talking about Ware Ghana or Made in Ghana. All right, so Nalem Ayede's promo is still going on. Get into Nalem store, any of the Nalem store at the Osumo, Nungwa Mall, Junction Mall, Westhills Mall, and the Accra Mall, Airport Terminal 2 and 3 for anything that you want, up to 60%. We're also going to give you some gift vouchers so that you can enter into Nalem store and get whatever you want. So be a part of whatever we do on social media. Thanks to Curia Living for the beautiful sets of decor, to Fen at Ghana for our sets of furniture, Confidential Makeup for my makeup, and my hair is installed by Wiglet Slayer, and also by Celebrity Hair Ghana. Hair pieces is from Celebrity Hair Ghana. We are on Facebook, Slayers TV, Instagram, Twitter, Slayers TV GH, and on YouTube, Slayers TV Ghana. We'll see you next week.